All right, here we are with Nolan Myers. Nolan, just so we could get to know you a little bit better, we asked a couple questions here, and we're looking for answers in threes. So, the first one, you could pick any of these categories here, or if you want to just focus on one and pick three in that category, that's okay too. So, whatever you want here. So, your favorite movie, your favorite food, artist, favorite author, or your favorite time of the year. Pick three of those and give us your favorite.
I would say for movie, I'd have to go with Step Brothers, just a classic. Food, I would say steak. You can't go wrong. And author or artist, I would say Luke Combs.
Okay. Obviously, author is J.K. Rowling's too, right?
Of course.
Let's see. All right, next one. Would you rather visit a beach or a mountain? Do you like sweet or salty foods? Do you like dogs or cats?
I would say mountains. I'd rather go to the mountains than the beach. Um, I prefer salty over sweet, and then I'd have to go with dogs
Sure.
by a landslide.
Last one then. Three words that you think describe you.
Um, Hardworking, honest, and positive.
Nice. Next one then for you. We'd like to get a little bit more background information on your family. So give us the Myers family growing up. Did you guys always live in Hastings, or have you always lived in Hastings? Maybe where your mom and dad are from, how long they've been together, where do they work, brothers, sisters. Just give us your family growing up and what that snapshot looked like.
Yeah, so we grew up in Hastings my whole life. My parents built the house before they had my oldest brother. Um, so I have four other siblings. I have three older and then one younger. Two of them are in college right now, and then one's graduated, and then I have a sister in middle school. We all went to C's growing up. All went to or all of us have gone to the high school. Um, my dad grew up out in New Jersey. My mom grew up in Inver Grove. And yeah, I was just been in Hastings, and I think they're planning on staying in Hastings for a while. So,
Nice. So let's talk about just your brothers and sisters for a second. We'll talk about your older one. So what years did they graduate from Hastings High School and where they go to college?
um, my
Maybe you
oldest
don't know the
brother,
exact years, but that's okay. Just
I
give us
don't
a
know
ballpark.
I don't know the exact year. So I think my oldest brother graduated in 2014.
That's Finley.
Yeah, he went to Madison. Um, he was a Badger. He graduated a year and a half ago, I think. And right now uh, he's working in or going into the Marines to be an officer. So that's Finley. And then my oldest sister Quinn, who's a year younger, so I think she graduated in 2015. She went to Drake for her 4 year. Or I think she graduated 3.5. And then right now she's going to grad school at Madison to be a teacher. She's also student teaching right now at just a local high school. Um, so that's Quinn. And then the next is Griffin. He's a junior at Wisconsin right now. So three Badgers in the family. Um, he graduated in 2017, I think, because he was a senior when I came into the high school. So
Nice. And
then
then you
there's
got little
my little
sister
sister.
Fiona, who's you said is in middle school at C's
Yep.
for sure. So Nolan, this is mainly a sports podcast, so we focus not specifically on sports, but it's a main driving point of this podcast. So let's talk about your sports journey. I usually like to start in early elementary school, so kindergarten, first grade, and then stop right around middle school, so about sixth grade at the start of middle school. So we get kind of a snapshot of what your sports journey looked like growing up. So talk about that. What sports you played when you were little? Anything else? Any clubs, activities that you did? And this, like I said, we'll stop it around sixth grade.
Yeah. So I did the youth wrestling when I was coming up through elementary school. I also played Raider Nation baseball. I think that was like third and fourth grade. I played that. But I really enjoyed the youth wrestling. There's able to like connect with some of the high school kids through showcase, and just getting to know the high school coaches and even getting to know the youth coaches really well too. That was really cool. So then I just did baseball and wrestling up until middle school, and then I got into cross country too for the middle school team. But
Yeah, so then we could start in middle school. So I like to stop at middle school because a lot of times when kids get to the high school or get to the middle school, they get a little more serious with sports and kind of start focusing in on a couple different sports versus a wide gamut of things that they do when they're little. So starting at about seventh grade, then what sports did you play when you were in the middle school? If you were brought up to the varsity level in any sports too, talk about that. And then once again, we'll stop at about ninth grade.
so middle school around seventh grade, I was just running cross country and wrestling, and I was playing baseball for C's too. But wrestling in seventh grade, I wrestled up, not with the varsity, but I did a bunch of 9U stuff when the middle school season came to a close. So that was really good. Just be up in the high school room, but not wrestling at the higher of levels. Um, that was good because able to get the confidence, be able to beat up on some kids. Um, and then eighth grade year, I didn't play Seeds baseball that year. I ran cross country for the middle school, and then I got brought up um, for the wrestling team. It was a lot of fun, but bummer was first match. I broke my foot in the match. I didn't know it at the time, but that put me out for about a month and a half. So that kind of put a damper on the eighth grade year. I was able to do a little bit of 9U towards the end, but not a whole lot.
For sure. So then starting in ninth grade, you get to the high school, public high school here at Hastings High School. Talk about sports you played then, because I know you picked up track along the way too. So let's talk about each year. You could start off with ninth grade, starting off with cross country since it's in the fall. Go through each level, and then you could talk about any accomplishments, either individual or team, that go along with each sport as well. So you could go from ninth all the way to senior year now.
All right. So it was a lot of fun my freshman year in cross country just because uh, Griffin was my older brother. Griffin was a senior then. So we were on the same team. I was able to get maybe 4 or 5 varsity races, which was a lot of fun. There was just a lot of cool people on the team then, like Isaac Huntington, Eric Howe, Devin Haraldson. So we just had Luke Harris. We had a lot of fun. Um, and then wrestling came around freshman year. Um, I bounced around quite a bit from varsity to JV to 9U even. And then I was wrestling for 9U state my freshman year and made it to the placing rounds. I forget, I think it was a 7th place match. I was wrestling the kid that I lost to my first match of the day. And unfortunately, I broke my ankle in that match. That put me out for the rest of the wrestling season. And I did track that year, but I really didn't run that much just because I was still rehabbing and getting back. So that was kind of a bummer to end the year like that. But I was able to come back sophomore year, had a really good cross country season. I got all conference that year, so that was fun. Started wrestling. I was all right. I wrestled a lot of JV, and then I was about 500 on varsity. I was kind of the throwing guy against some real good kids, so that was a good experience, but also kind of a bummer sometimes. But it is what it is. And then track season sophomore year, ran a lot of distance, mile, 2 mile, which was fun. Not always fun while you were doing it, but there was good guys on the team. So it was definitely a good experience. Didn't get any, I lettered, but didn't get any honors in that. So then junior year, cross country, I was able to get all conference again. Wrestling, I was a captain junior year, so that was really cool. Was able to make it to state individually and as a team, so that was a blast. Being able to go up to the XL Energy Center, just a really good experience. And then COVID took out our track year, but we were able to. So far, we've been able to get everything in this year. So I was able to get out conference again for cross country. I was captain again for wrestling, got all conference for that. I was able to make it to state individually again and got all state this year. So that was a lot of fun. That
Nice.
puts us up till now.
Yeah. So I know one of your big goals is to get all conference right now for track. So you could be a three sport all conference. So hopefully we keep on this track right now with the COVID stuff and we keep on having a season, we can reach those goals. That'd be really cool. So tell us about your improvement process too. What do you think? Obviously, each year you kind of improved with cross country, wrestling, and track too. So kept on getting better. Talk about your improvement process. What do you think went into that? Any factors that helped you out along the way? Obviously, some kids have a huge spike from one year to another. You know, usually maybe from eighth to ninth grade, ninth to 10th grade, where they make some major improvements. Your improvement has been pretty gradual throughout the 4 or 5 years of your high school sports career, I'd say. So tell me about your improvement process and what do you think the factors that went into that improvement were?
So definitely a lot of summer off-season training, whether for wrestling, whether it be like the freestyle practices or the summer camps where we'd be lifting and wrestling. I would do not a ton, but a solid amount of running in the summer towards July and August, just to get ready for the cross country season. But I would say, I think for cross country, it was kind of a bummer, but I ran my best times my sophomore year. And then I started putting on a lot more weight and muscle. So I slowed down a little bit for that, but I was still able to compete pretty well. I would say for wrestling though, like you said, my improvement was pretty gradual, but I would say I made the biggest jump between my junior and senior year. I did make it to state junior year, but I was close to pretty average record. There was just a lot of matches where I should have won that I didn't, just because I was overthinking a lot of stuff usually. But yeah, I would say my junior to senior year for wrestling definitely was my biggest improvements. But yeah, it was pretty good.
For sure. So I know I won't spoil it, but talk about your hobbies outside of sports. So obviously sports takes up a majority of your year. You are really high academic, you are really into academics as well and have a enormously high GPA, 3.9 something, 3.8 something. So obviously school plays a huge role in your life and being a student athlete is something that's extremely important to you as well. But besides school and sports, what's some things that you like doing outside as well?
Um, Really the two main things that I'd love to do is hunt and fish. So if I'm not competing or I'm at a sport, I'll probably be hunting or fishing somewhere in the woods or on a lake or in this trout stream or something like that. So really besides sports and academics, those are the only two other things I like to do.
For sure. And then college is coming along too. So obviously you're in your senior year right now. Where are you going to go to school next year? And I know fishing and hunting has a role to play in what you want to do the rest of your life as well. So the major you want to major in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to South Dakota State next year. And the plan right now is for my major to be wildlife and fishery science. So don't know exactly what I want to go into with that, but definitely want to stick with something outdoors and entertaining.
For sure. So then coming back around to being a student athlete, a lot of people play sports for a different reason. You played different sports, a lot of a very wide variety, with cross country and then to wrestling and then to track as well. So obviously you're playing these sports for a certain reason. So why do you think you play sports, and what role does sports play in your life?
Um, yeah, I was thinking about that, and I would say the role sports have played in my life has just helped me become a better person, whether it be my work ethic or um, my motivation to go do stuff, and even my relationships. I've had and created so many good friendships and relationships with coaches and even teachers just from sports. And I think that just in general has helped me because I've had so many good role models to look up to. I know what the type of person I want to be like and strive to be like. And I've had so many good people to watch, great people to watch, to kind of follow that. So I think just being in sports has helped me really as a person and not just athletically.
For sure. What made you want to be a three-sport athlete as well? So obviously that's something that we try to push and try to strive for in our athletes at the high school. So what's one of the main reasons you wanted to be a three-sport athlete?
Really, I was just seeing my older siblings do it. My parents were really, um, they did a really good job of just kind of like hammering that home of you got to be doing something or else you're going to get into trouble. So just staying busy, being in three sports, and a lot of times, I know most people wouldn't expect cross country and wrestling and track to kind of like complement each other very well. But I would say I was able to, towards the end of my career, I was able to kind of figure out a good balance of getting good cardio from cross country, but also staying strong for wrestling. So really just looking at my siblings, staying busy from three sports, and I kind of just wanted to be like them. So
Nice. Next two things for you, Nolan. They do sound very similar, but if you could break them up and think about two different things, that'd be awesome. So what do you think your best or your most rewarding thing or experience was participating in athletics at Hastings High School? And then what do you think your favorite moment or experience was being an athlete at Hastings High School?
so I got to go to the moment probably first. It was definitely this year, at our super sections for wrestling. So you had to make it through sections, top four in sections to make it to the super section. And then the top two out of that would have went to state. So I was in the true second match for the super section, and the winner of that would have been the second guy to make it. Um, and I was down by a couple points towards the last minute and a half of the match, and I was able to score a few takedowns and ride my opponent out so I could win. And it was just awesome. There's not a lot of words to describe it. It was just being able to see all the hard work and stuff pay off. Just, it was really cool.
Mhm. And that match, obviously, then you win that one, you make it to the state tournament, and like you said earlier, then you were all state because of that. So that was pretty cool experience. So what do you think? So then one more experience. So either once again, your most rewarding or your favorite moment then from Hastings Athletics.
Um, Most rewarding, I would probably say, most rewarding would probably be last year, just in the team section finals against Woodbury. Our heavy was able to pull it out at the end and pin the guy to send us to state. I would just say that was most rewarding, just being able to see the hard work that our team put in that whole year, and then being able to just see the effects and what the rewards for that on the mat, and being able to go to state at the XL was just surreal.
Mhm. I agree. Last one, then, kind of thinking about yourself too here in your sports journey. Obviously, it might be different for each sport, but what do you think success for yourself, or maybe success in athletics, what do you think that means to you?
I mean, the easy answer would say just be win, which I mean, winning's awesome. I love winning. But it's just mostly, I would say, it's just learning and be able to um, take your losses, see what you did wrong, make adjustments, and try to go out there and succeed. I think that's probably more effective and able to apply to your own life. So, I mean, as good as winning is, just being able to live and learn, I think, is really what athletics truly are necessary for.
For sure. So please don't use me for this next one because I know my name's going to be the first name that comes to your mind, but let's try to think of someone else. So you've played in multiple different sports. So like we've already talked about cross country, wrestling, track, baseball growing up too. So who do you think one of the your best coaches have been for you growing up? Someone that really taught you a lesson that really resonates with you, and something that they taught you that you really try to live by or apply to your life on a daily basis.
I would say Mr. Vite, just because I knew him um, before I even wrestled, just from my older siblings, and my older brother wrestled, so I knew him through that. Um, but he's just been such a great person to have, um, coaching wise, but also, I mean, the two things he would always hammer home in practice or just in person was, in life, you need uh, positive mental attitude and a strong work ethic. And I think just everything he's done, he's just such a great person in general, but also just even a better coach. Um, it's hard to compete with somebody like that.
Mhm.
He's just awesome.
I definitely agree with you. And I'm, as a wrestling coach, I'm pretty lucky. I've been able to work with him for about 11 years now. So I echo everything you just said about him too. So next thing for the, and obviously playing three different sports and growing up too, you played with a variety of different people, and it's pretty unique for you too that you weren't really competing or working with the same kids in each sport too. So obviously three different sports and kind of wide variety of kids. So if you want, you could pick someone from each sport as well, or just maybe focus on one sport if you want. Who do you think the most valuable teammate you played with is? And once again, this is someone that could be a work ethic, something that you tried to model in your own life, or someone that really taught you something that you try to live by or apply to your own life. So once again, the most valuable teammate that you played with throughout your high school career.
Um, it's tough because I've had a lot of good people to know in wrestling and in track, but I would say Luke Harris. Um, I was able to run with him for 3 years in track and cross country. Um, but it was just always nice to suffer through workouts and runs with him. Just a great person, um, great attitude, and just easy to get to know and easy to talk to and easy to like. So I would probably say he was my favorite, not, I shouldn't say favorite, but most uh, important teammate that I've had.
Nice. Last one then for you here too in this category. And once again, you could pick a certain team for each sport you play, or if you just want to focus on one sport, that's okay. So any opponent or event that you really look forward to, an opponent that you love playing against, someone that really brought the best out of you, or once again, an event that you just circled two or three times on the calendar and always look forward to that event. So what do you think that was? And once again, in each sport if you want, or just pick one sport and talk about that event or opponent.
I would definitely say the opponent. It's a wrestler from East Ridge, and I was able to beat him my junior year to go to state. It was kind of different then because I was coming. I won the third place match, and I was looking to take him out. And this year, he was looking to take me out, and that was kind of nice because I was able to beat him in both directions and get to state and keep him from going. So definitely Tanner Holt from Eastridge.
Nice.
I was able to win the rubber match best of 5 series with them too. So
That's good. You're probably done wrestling now, so that's how it's going to stay the rest of your life, probably, huh?
yeah.
Nice. Last couple questions then for you, Nolan, and this we like to think is maybe this the most important part of the interview. You know, not that your life isn't important, but we like in this piece in there for future generations too. So, if you could give two pieces of advice for parents or coaches from your experiences, what would they be and why?
I would say just because my coaches and parents have been so good at it that it's made me realize how important it is. I would just say being patient and trusting. I mean, a team or even a relationship is not going to work if there's no trust and patience. You need a lot of them. So I would say the more you have, the more successful your relationship or team is going to be.
For sure. Now, same kind of question then for student athletes. So, people that are your peers, or maybe people that are kids that are a little bit younger than you. What would two pieces of advice be from your experiences? What would they be and why?
The big one that comes to my mind right away is you can't look big picture really. For just example, like thinking, oh man, the season's going to take a while. It's 2.5 more months. I want to be done. You can't look at it like that because it's just, you're one, not going to compete very well. And two, it's going to take even longer in your head. So I would say just be able to focus on that practice or even that drill or that run. I think that's going to help you a lot. Just become a better athlete. You can focus on what you need to do today to put yourself in a good position for tomorrow.
For sure.
And then
Nolan,
I would
that's,
say,
oh yeah, go for it. Sorry.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
No, no, go for it. You got one more piece. Yeah, let's hear it.
And then I would say just don't take it for granted. It goes a lot quicker than you think, even though those days seem long, or like the taking it for or looking big picture that seems long. Um, it goes by really quick. So don't take it for granted. Just be thankful for it and try to get the best out of it that you can.
I agree. That's very well said. So Nolan, that's all I got for you. Last thing is the mic is yours. Anything else you want to add in? Anything I didn't ask you that you want to talk about? Any shout outs you want to give? The floor is yours and you can go for it.
Probably just say thank you to everybody, coaches, teammates, Mr. Hansen, athletic director, parents, siblings, everybody. Just it's helped me succeed. I really, truly appreciate it, especially you, Coach Hannenberg. You've done a lot for me, and I do appreciate that. So thank you.
No worries, my man. All right. Thank you.